Here we go. This title is going to be called TOEtally. TOEtally. Subconscious breathers. Jeff has joined. Alright, let's see if I can. I think you might have to comment. Oh, nope, there we go. What's up, brother?
Shalom, shalom.
How are you?
I'm doing great here with my babies. Not so baby anymore.
Yeah, we took your advice about the mint, so we're definitely gonna see how that goes.
Yeah, they're here waiting for you. There's a whole batch of them.
So today's topic is TOEtally. I guess we can start off. We can start off with the David Goggins picture.
Sure.
And I find it interesting how in society we like to push. It's interesting. There's body shaming and there's glorifying, pushing the body, quote unquote, over the limits in that aspect. So that picture was very gruesome with the toe.
It was very gruesome.
Yeah, many people want us to talk about it. So here we are.
Here we are. I want to start off by saying that there's this funny thing we do when we're babies, when we're just born, and well, it's called splitting. And what we do is we split our mom into the good mom that feeds us, that takes care of us, that nurtures us, and the mom that ignores us, that doesn't listen to us crying, doesn't answer us immediately. And it's a very strategic move in order to keep the strong relationship with our mom, right? So that there's like one bad one and one really good one, and it helps us keep that bond. And it's very purposeful to hold that because we're powerless. We're babies. We can't do anything. We need to be taken care of. We need help. For a lot of people, that never gets resolved. That strategy never sheds. It's one of our earliest layers, right? And so I think you and I have spoken about this, about the fact that there are no good initiatory processes in our society to help us move beyond the layers that we put on as humans who depended on others, and then move into a new level of responsibility. And so the point of me saying that is that we assign a label to people being good or being bad, and it creates these rifts between people. It's like, oh, this person's awesome. What do you mean? How can you say anything bad about them? But the truth is, people are some good, some not good. They do good things that are awesome, things that are not so awesome. And that post I reposted, David Goggins' post, was to highlight this thing that we have to be very careful about our role models, because there's a lot of aspects of them that are not role model-esque, right? And we have to have the courage to choose and think critically about what are the aspects of them that we want to admire and what are the aspects that maybe we don't want to admire. And I think that when it comes to David Goggins, there's this theme of like willful pain that he applies onto himself as a signal of righteousness and of honor. And that this is a very interesting thing about our society, which is this conditioning to want to cause harm to ourselves as a way of proving that we're worthy. And I think I went very deep very quickly, but I think that this is, this is the conversation, is how do we remember to bring into question which aspects of people we want to admire and which aspects we maybe want to see as opportunities to do differently.
It's like when you look in earlier societal rifts, if you will, the people with the most money are quote unquote fat and full, and now we're shifting dimensions in terms of health is truly part of wealth.
Yeah.
And I like how you say, there's different dimensions of people that, like we said at Coconut Grove, like take what resonates, and leave what doesn't.
Yeah, exactly. And that is one of, I believe, one of the most important qualities in life is to be what we call anti-disciplinary, to go as an experimenter into life, try many different things, and whenever you try something, evaluate it and keep what works for you, and shed whatever does not work for you. I think it's super important. I mean, a lot of people will assign all of themselves to a guru, a master, right? And we've seen over the last 5 years what happens when you do that, right? You have Bikram, you have Bhagwan, you have the Kundalini guy now, is all the stories are coming out about him, about Bhajan, all with the letter B. Funny enough, maybe that's a sign. Maybe that's a sign. And the problem is that you lose you essentially die. You have no identity because you're fully assigned to somebody else. And so, you have all these people in the case of Bikram that assign their entire life to the Bikram yoga philosophy, and they're, from one day to another, their message is worthless because the guy came out and had all these issues. So it takes a lot of courage to go and create your own life, right? It takes a lot of courage and a lot of work, and a lot of people just want to, it almost feels like taking the easy route, just like, oh, hand over all my power I hand all my power to you to teach me the ways, guide me. And it's essentially a way of saying, I choose not to live anymore. Here, take my life. It's yours, right? I'll just die here and leave let my body, my physical body, keep going, and my identity is gone, right?
It's like in terms of breath work itself. When I'm coaching people, I'm saying, the breath is really the true teacher. Like, I'm not literally going inside your emotions myself and letting you exfoliate. That's literally all you and the breath. I just show you different patterns, and the breath will take you to different aspects of your own self, and then you do your own introspection, and then you live it, and that becomes your own wisdom.
Yep, absolutely. I think we have to be very careful, careful to assign, like I said, just going back, assign all good or all bad to anybody or anything, and then also to assign all of ourselves to anybody or anything, right? I love, if for anybody here listening, the work of Jiddu Krishnamurti, who's one of the people who really enlightened me to this idea of what is freedom, what really is freedom, and the dangers of followership, and even following fully a religion, like you literally just you just you're it's like you die. You're dead. You're not living anymore. You're going to this place that is just a symbol of something. It's not a something, and you are assigning all of yourself to it, and like that's not. There's no truth in that. There's no truth there. I don't know. And funny enough, the Goggins post got a lot of comments, right? A lot of people like, oh, this guy, what do you mean I'm just like, look, all I'm trying to say is like, just
Toe health.
yeah, and that too, like, I know people who have done some insanely amazing endurance events, and they've done it barefoot, and their bodies are in great health and don't look like they have toes about to fall off. And it's ironic, right? Because they're doing it barefoot, and you say, "Oh my God, they have no protection on their feet." Like that, isn't that dangerous? Well, this person who runs in really padded protective shoes all the time looks like his feet are going to fall off.
That's a clear indication there.
Yeah. So it's an invitation to evaluate a different way, a more natural way of pushing yourself. Like, yeah, I'm not saying pushing yourself is bad. I'm saying that destroying your body in the name of whatever it is it might not be a good way to approach your strategy.
And now we're seeing when you look at the athletic world, now you see people they take recovery more seriously than they used to. So now the whole recovery process is part of getting better and performing at your peak levels. And people need to realize also, when you're barefoot, you're also taking in those electrons. Don't you think that would be a additive boost to running or any type of thing you do, or walking?
Yeah, I mean, in the cycling world, they already discovered this. They have all these strategies. In the very long cycling challenges, they actually have their athletes when they're resting in these grounding blankets, grounding pads, like laying on the floor, and they found, conclusively that they heal fast. They heal better. They recover better. They're ready the next day. They perform better. All their levels, all their blood levels are better. And I don't need I don't need blood measurements. I don't really care about them per se. But you could see just a totally different attitude and a different level of performance in that connection. So, I mean, if we want, we can also go to that level, right? There's different levels. There's conventional padded, like a sleep level running. There's minimalist shoe running, which is getting there, getting better, and then there's like just totally connected to the earth running, and that's and there's those are different qualities. But then you and I have spoken about this. It's all about ego. It's all about ego, right? So I can do this faster. I can do this better. I can get that mile done quicker. It's like, what's the point?
Exactly.
What's the point? What are you trying to accomplish? And last night when we did that last activity, which the point was to evaluate what moving at the speed of nature means for you, right? Like that's the speed of that your body just wants, without your mind getting in the way and trying to tell it whatever story about why it should do more than it wants.
And most of those stories comes from outside influence instead of nature itself. And that's when most of us really need to do introspective work, shadow work, if you will, and grow from there and say, why am I thinking this way? Is this society have an influence to make me think this way? Or did I come up with a conclusion to think this way? In terms of how to think and not what to think.
And that's freedom. Asking that question is freedom, right? Freedom is not a destination. It's a process of of turning the camera around on yourself, of splitting your attention into the doing and to the evaluating of the doing, right? That's freedom. You know, I always say that a prisoner in jail can be free.
Exactly. Yep.
It has nothing to do with your physical limitations or non-limitations. It's all in the mind. It's all about your ability to question your reality, question your beliefs, the mindsets, and evaluate where the source of your actions and your thinking is coming from.
Mm.
Yep. So yeah, going back, I mean, for the invitation to everybody, for me these days is to start to ask, what is the speed of nature mean in my life,
Mm.
and what might happen if I just started to move at the speed of nature.
Yeah. And it's great to also ask yourself, why am I speeding up this way? Why am I acting a certain way to get something accomplished done quicker and not be more fluid, like the ocean, like the wind itself, how the wind just seeps through effortlessly and smoothly through things and creates a nice fractal in the ocean. So, and when you look at those fractals, you know, many of us are in awe because of how perfect, not perfect, but how beautiful, symmetrical nature itself really is. And symmetrical, I mean beyond balance itself, but creating a wave pattern where it matches, it doesn't have rigidity. You know, that's what I mean by symmetrical.
And it's so funny that we just naturally find it so beautiful, right? Like
Mm-hmm.
there's something in our body. It's not even in our mind, it's in our body, that we just like you look at something that has a fractal pattern, and you just can't help but stare at it, right?
Mm-hmm.
You can't help it because it's so deeply embedded in every aspect of your being that you're just like, wow, that is incredible, right? And I was on a webinar last night called Design by Radical Indigenism. And it was all about this woman wrote a book called Low Tech, and basically the argument is like, why are we reinventing the wheel that, you know, indigenous people and cultures have already figured out? What is the need to like strip, you know, these things and like, you know, optimize and try? And the irony is that optimization of this is de-optimizing it. The
Mm-hmm.
attempt to optimize is de-optimizing, and they've already got it figured out because they were studying the natural way, and that's
The natural
100%.
law, the natural law of things. Even when you look at Nikola Tesla himself, who, in my opinion, just literally brought back a Tartarian mind, um, a Tartarian philosophy in terms of free energy. That big tower he was creating was to literally, in my humble opinion, I think he wanted to really just light up what Tartaria used to be. And in terms of free energy and wireless, and now you look at today, you see a bunch of wires. You know, and I love that. I love that meme that says he was a poet that couldn't be understood. It's like his picture on one side, and on the next side you see a bunch of wires, and that's so funny. That's going around in the spirit in the science community, and I get a good laugh of it because, you know, he already had the idea. He already created technology already in terms of wireless technology, and he even wanted to utilize the wireless technology in a way where we were telepathic, and in the sense of uh, not having a crutch with technology itself, but creating a more harmonious environment with natural law. When you look at all the great minds, and I'm not sure Einstein himself, yeah, I think Einstein actually read the Naturales de Philosophicis, and that is a great book for anyone who is into natural law. It's a good book you would have to literally reread it over and over again. It
Those are
will,
the best ones.
yeah, it'll create a headache for real. It really will.
Yeah. So I think you know, it's funny. I've been I've been doing a lot of thinking and research around how we got to this state of ego, and it all started with the advent of agriculture, when people moved from being taken care of by the earth to starting to trying to
Mm.
harness its power, and then what came from that is pillaging, right? So like, so there's people doing the hard work of trying to build farms and stuff, and then people would come and raid them, right? And then they start to fence off land, which is also the part of the agriculture thing, right? Trying to, like, create boundaries and barriers, and this is mine, and people stealing other people's things. And then I think that it just it became so pervasive that it then like seeped into all parts of culture, and it got us to where we are now with, like, literally, not only is land parceled, but now there's buildings that you have a little box in the air, and that's your space, and you bought that, little box in space, kind of like this little box in space.
Mm.
And it's just it's really interesting to see how something as simple as agriculture and then pillaging agriculture created all of this. Every industry, banking, it all stemmed from that, from pirating.
Yeah, there was a time when that's where the whole four family, I think, structure came from, when we stopped moving around as we used to, and we became stagnant. So,
Hmm.
stagnant energy creates stagnant thoughts, and here we are today.
And stagnant structures, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then here we are. But then, so that, the old style before agriculture was very matriarchal, right? The earth mother took care of us, and then we moved into into these patriarchal structures, which is like, we have no connection to the earth whatsoever, right? We're separate from it, separate from nature. We control everything, and then now we're moving. It's moving. It's happening.
Mm,
It's
for
changing, and
sure.
we're gonna move into the earth, that we're stewards to the earth. We're stewards to the earth. Uh, yeah, flipping the model backwards, and moving the humans into a position of being responsible, for taking care of all of this, and for ensuring the return to balance.
Mm. And I think it definitely truly starts with it also starts with just harmonizing with nature itself, because if we have the idea of, all right, I'm taking care of forest here, but now I'm having the idea of the whole planet. Okay, we all live on one planet, and then that idea and ideology of unity starts to mesh easily for people who are in that paradigm of thinking, for sure.
Yeah, the unified science, unified theory, which I find fascinating, is gaining a ton of momentum, because this is the era that we're moving into. But I was looking at, there's a different way of looking at currency. It's called Gaia,
Mm.
Gaia currency, which it can't be traded. It has no representative value. It's just the amount that it costs to plant one tree, the amount of energy that it costs to plant a tree. And this will be the new form of currency, right? This is the caring for the planet. This will be the what matters, right?
Mm.
The amount of energy that you can use to create new, to regenerate. And I'm excited, because I feel like we're kind of at the at the edge of this, right? We're at the edge, pushing this, and bringing this into life through our conversations, first through our work, through our feelings, through our thoughts, and then through our conversations and through our actions. Ushering in uh, a new era, and it's awesome. It's exciting.
For sure. I'm happy to be part of that. I'm happy to have met you. And
Likewise, brother.
it's been a journey over here in Miami, and I'm loving it
Absolutely. Many more to come.
for sure. All right, guys. I thank you all for sharing the breath. Thank you, Jeff, for coming on here.
Thank you
And
for having me.
we'll have maybe more conversations about this later, for sure.
Love to.
All right, guys. Have a wonderful day. Peace.
Shalom.
What's up, guys? I just want to do a quick video for you guys. I've been learning with Devon, the Black Airbender, for quite some time now, for over a year. This man has taught me some wonderful lessons about the power of breath. Simple things is like the importance of breathing in and out from your nostrils. To specific breathing methods, breathing with your gut, certain breathing techniques that help you have better, more lucid dreams. That just helps you just observe what you're going through. You know, the breath is so much more important than I realized. The breath can, quote unquote, I don't want to use the word cure, but it can help you heal from emotional traumas, help you recover from events, working out, etc. Helping you feel so much better. Helps you connect back to your soul, your purpose, why you're doing things, help you look young again, feeling good, getting those dark circles out from your eyes. I mean, there's endless amount of possibilities. I can go on and on why the breath is so important. And I think that's why it's so important to learn from Devon, the Black Airbender. He just gives value on value on value, breath after breath after breath. I love this man. If you ever had thoughts to do a breath session with this man and you haven't done it yet, do it. Do it. Do it. I know you don't know me. My word may not matter to you, but the breath speaks for itself. Much love, guys.